Whew, it's been a long ass time since I've done a video. Let's get cracking, all right? Let's start off first with Apple, which is something that my boy Grant was asking me about. Now, I actually had extensions on this, fib extensions. I had 163 and I had a 126. Now, actually, I thought it was going to go down to 126 and I was wrong. It went back up. And now that it hit 163, my initial reaction was sell it. It hit the extension. We broke out of this channel that's been going on. Take the short, write it back down because it's oversold. This is a strong move up. But then I had to think about that for a second. And here's the question you have to ask yourself. Do you want to sell or short a stock during its peak seasons? For example, this Christmas, a lot of kids, a lot of people are going to receive Apple, MacBooks, phones, iPads, and all that, which means they're going to have strong sales. So do you want to short during that time? And I don't think I do. So I have a different approach to it. And usually, usually stocks have a run up, like Facebook, which does advertising for Christmas season, Amazon, Apple, all of that. They usually have a run up going into January, right? And if there's Christmas season, run up last January, and then they come down. They also come down because people take profit taking, and also to avoid taxes, capital gains tax. I mean, a lesser tax, I should say, because you have to hold for more than 1 year, or at least 1 year. So you have to come usually January, you see this peak, and then it sells off for a little bit, just like a pullback, all right? So thinking of that, keeping that in mind, and seeing where Apple stock is right now, what I see coming in the near future, and how I would play it. I would draw a fib extension on this, right? A Fibonacci retracement, I should say. Take it back down towards 156, maybe even 152, right? And then rebuy or move up to 177, which is this measured move right here. Okay, if you measure this move, it comes out to be 177, but possible extension to like 1.8, and then I would look to sell. So I'm thinking that come January, end of January, we'll be at 177, maybe 18 something, and then you really want to take a sell on Apple. So right now, short Apple only for the short interim, maybe it's like the second week of December, and then rebuy going into January. Okay, let's move on to the next one. KD, most people don't know about. What happened is IBM took their company and they took their AI part of their company, that section, and they actually took it out of IBM and formed a whole new company called KD, Kyndryl Holdings. So IBM has split, okay? And part of this is rebranding because IBM's kind of like a forgotten company. It's not like as big like Google and the other ones, but it's still strong, billions of dollars, right? So they're separating their AI section. It opened in October 22nd at $52. It's now down to 17. I think this is a good opportunity to buy it. Don't do options on this because it's difficult unless you have a lot of money to spare, because they only have like month expirations instead of weekly. And it's very unpredictable because it just happened, right? I would probably buy it as, you know, like a regular stock and then hold into like maybe June, okay? Medtronic, I had this one pretty, you know, mapped out pretty nicely, and I wish I held it longer than I did. I only held it for like 2 weeks, and it was a beautiful trade. But here was this structure right here. It broke the structure and went up towards the top of the structure right here, and usually that's a sell point because it broke to the downside, retraces, and now we go back down. Now that it has gone back down, what I see here is a bounce. We'll draw a Fibonacci retracement on that. So what I see happening is buying Medtronic from 111, 113 up towards 120, maybe even 123, and then resell it back down because the target is actually 105, 103 with a possible extension down to 96. So you want to buy Medtronic and then sell at 123, okay? Riot, another one I had picked out beautifully. I didn't stay in it either. So I had the structure. I said it was going to break to the upside. Here we go. This is like in October I was making those videos. Broke to the upside, went to 46, which is kind of like the support level of this area. If you look at it right here, okay? This is the support. Previous support and resistance. Now this is acting as resistance. It broke through. And so now we have a retracement to the 618 Fibonacci. So basically what you want to do now is we're going to measure this move with a fib extension. Okay, target is $58. So you want to buy Riot with the move up to $57. Okay, next, space. All right, we all know this one, Virgin Atlantic. Most people don't know it as space, but everybody knows of Virgin Atlantic Holdings, right? Actually, Sarah, better known as Lil Kim, told me about this one, and I've been watching this for a while. And so what I did was I set an alert right here at about $16, $17. And because this was the previous support area, right? And you can see that it hit several times. Support. All right. So every time it hits the support, it has like this large run up. And this is actually last November. It ran up until December. Here we are, May, ran up to June. About a month run up, right? And here we are again. November going into December. We can possibly see a run up for a month, maybe 2 months, going towards 32, 36, and 41. I would highly recommend that you buy space, but with a 1 month expiration. You probably want to aim for like maybe the end of January, okay? Or you probably do the end of December, actually. All right, now let's talk some crypto. Cardano, my baby, I love her so much. All right, so let's talk about, actually, before we talk about Cardano, let's talk about what's happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum, all right? Now, Bitcoin, in my opinion, was obviously the leader of crypto, right? But I think what's happening now is what we call decoupling. It's kind of like the way Toyota or Nissan or Ford was like the big dog automakers, right? Like what happened to that company? If they go down, the rest of the market goes down. But they're not the king anymore. Tesla's the king. Okay? Still the same market, but there's a new king. All right, Tesla moves the auto market. It's the same thing as happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the king. And I think what's happening now is that it's starting to decouple. And the new king is going to be, in my opinion, Ethereum. All right? Because Cardano and all the other ones, they haven't moved. Bitcoin dropped, right? It dropped down to, in July, all the way down to 31. And now it's made this run up back to 69. It actually made a new all-time high. Look at this. A new all-time high. Went above 64 to 68, right? What did the rest of the crypto market do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's trading sideways basically for some time now. Look at Cardano, it's like $1.80. It's not moving with Bitcoin. The new king is going to be Ethereum. And now let's take a look at this for a second. Ethereum back in January, not January, what are we in? November 5th, November 20th, right? Was trading at about $500. Now at that point you would think, holy shit, $500 too expensive, I'm not going to buy. $4,000. That's 8 times the value. Look at Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin last year in November was trading at like the same time November, right? The 24th, trading at like $18,000, right? 18. You would think, holy shit, $18,000. It's 60 something thousand right now. 57 right now. Okay, so if you think these gains can happen because it seems high in value, that's not what the market says. And I think what's going to happen is right now with the China crackdown on Bitcoin and the way the hash, you can't do video card type of mining on it. It needs to be ASIC mining. All right. And the largest ASIC mining was in China. China cracked down on that. And so now Bitcoin is being decoupled from the crypto market as the de facto king. And now Ethereum is going to be the king. So when the hard fork comes around and starts moving, that's when we're going to start seeing things. For Bitcoin, here's what I see. This is not a good structure for Bitcoin. This chart wise is not a good structure. What happens is that you see this, a break to the upside and then down. All right, so in my opinion, Bitcoin probably go up to about 87,000, and that might be the end of Bitcoin. Okay, and I don't want to talk doom and gloom, but I just think that people are moving over to Ethereum. Now Ethereum, you can't really chart something that's going to become the new king. But let's throw an extension on that, okay? Big extension now. Here's this run up from here all the way to the top, right? Bottom to the top. And that put it at 77,600. Okay? Possibly the next target for Ethereum. Wait for the hard fork to happen. When Ethereum moves, the rest of the market moves. Now let's look at that with Cardano. And Cardano broke this structure, and whenever you break a channel, you usually retest a channel, and you can see that pretty nicely. Is actually, is if you draw a Fibonacci retracement on this, it hits almost to the 618 perfectly. And so now what you do is you measure this move right here that I've already done, and that takes us to 4.3 as a target for Cardano. That's the next move for Cardano. All right, now if we try to chart that out, like when is that gonna happen? Well, let's throw a wedge on here, right? And then we draw this one up here. Now if you look at this, when we plan it out time wise, let's draw this right here. We're probably going to see something like this, right? End of December, as this starts to constrict, I'm going to see a pop-up. So I'm thinking that as the rest of the other markets where people are putting their money in, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, which are going to have a very strong December because of Christmas sales, after that it subsides and profit taking happens, and then they're going to move their money into other things. You can think of Bitcoin as the other side of the market, when, or crypto I should say, when stocks are going high, crypto's a little low because all the money is going into the stocks and all that, and Tesla and everything else. When that subsides, it'll be diversified and into crypto. Crypto's going to have a big year. Here's another bold prediction. I'm going to put it out there, right? Now, I think that Super Bowl time, right? Come Super Bowl time, we're going to see a crypto.com or an FTX ad. And we're going to start seeing crypto go mainstream because we've been seeing NFL ads. Tom Brady did a commercial for it. The Super Bowl come February would be an awesome time to showcase something like crypto.com, which is trying to compete with Coinbase, right? You're going to throw money, you want to compete with Coinbase, that's the time to do it. All right, so bold prediction, Super Bowl is going to have a crypto ad. I think it's going to be from crypto.com or possibly FTX, which is I think the one that Tom Brady does. All right, maybe even Coinbase, but we'll see. All right, and then come January into maybe even then in December, I think we're going to start seeing the crypto market move again. All right, 1.78, 1.8, I think is the bottom for Cardano. I don't think we're going to be see much more lower than that. Possibly 1.65. I'm looking at this chart right here, 0.6 right here, and then that's it. So I'm excited. I love Cardano. There's a bunch of other cryptos obviously to go with it, but wait for Ethereum. Ethereum is going to move the market, and Bitcoin is going to say bye-bye to the #1 spot. Insane. All right, Palantir is my last one I want to talk about real quick. All right, yeah, I know I have like a shitload of lines in here. It looks like a crayon book. Right now I had a target of $19.26. I actually had longs in this already, and I'm down on them unfortunately, but I had a downside target of $19. It's kind of like at $20.63. I really think that come end of January we're going to be up above $30, definitely above 26. So if you want to make a play, buy Palantir options for end of January expiration. Thank you. All right.